The New England Patriots went from 4 wins to a Super Bowl run in one season, and the prize was the loudest offseason in football. Mike Vrabel took a 4-13 roster, flipped it to 14-3, won Coach of the Year, and marched within one game of a ring. Then the spring stopped being about the game. A story off the field pulled every camera away from the work, the national networks went silent, and one question began trailing this team into every room it walked into. While the noise grew, the front office traded up twice in 2 days for 2 rookie pieces, and the first one has barely lined up on the right side in his football life. Remember him. The reason New England moved everything for protection rewrites how this whole roster reads. Look at the spending and the picture sharpens. Drake Maye threw for 4,394 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Led the league in completion percentage and passer rating, and lost the MVP by 5 points. New England paid to protect him. In came guard Elijah Vera Tucker, defensive lineman Draymond Jones, safety Kevin Byard, and receiver Romeo Doubs on a 4-year deal. The draft opened with a trade-up for a tackle and a second trade-up for an edge rusher. Then there is the move nobody will confirm out loud. A receiver every insider keeps tying to Foxborough, a name Vrabel knows from a past life, and a price starting with a future first-round pick. New England has not said his name. The whole league already has. The defense kept this team breathing all year. Christian Gonzalez erased #1 receivers, Marcus Jones earned All-Pro on returns, and Milton Williams with Christian Barmore anchored the front. Byard brought 7 interceptions and a 6th season of trust with Vrabel from their Tennessee days. The schedule says the easy ride is over. New England drew the 6th hardest slate in the league, a Super Bowl rematch on the road in Week 1, and a division reloading around it. Buffalo changed head coaches. The Jets changed quarterbacks. Miami tore the building down to the studs. The real question is not whether the Patriots are good. The question is whether one offseason of chaos cost them the one thing they fought all year to win back. And the answer starts with the story everyone is whispering about. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Patriots and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. Start with the facts and only the facts. In March, photos surfaced of Mike Vrabel and longtime NFL reporter Diana Rossini together at a resort in Arizona, away from the league meetings. Rossini was a top newsbreaker at The Athletic, with 15 years across NBC, ESPN, and that outlet. Within days, she resigned amid an internal review of her reporting and the situation. The New York Post ran the first story. More photos followed over the next weeks. Both Vrabel and Rossini are married with children. Neither has detailed what happened. The reporting describes the relationship as alleged, and so will this breakdown, because nothing has been confirmed by either person. The league weighed in fast. An NFL spokesman said the conduct does not fall under the personal conduct policy, so there is no investigation into Vrabel. The Patriots stayed behind their head coach. Vrabel held a press conference before the draft, said he had difficult conversations with his family, and stepped away for counseling during day 3 of the draft, leaving the final picks to personnel chief Elliott Wolf. Players spoke up without being asked to. Safety Kevin Byard said the man he sees is the same coach he had in Tennessee. Quarterback Drake Maye, linebacker Robert Spillane, and cornerback Christian Gonzalez voiced support. Owner Robert Kraft has not pushed his coach out, and the team is reported to be firmly behind him. This is where the noise meets the football. The national outlets went quiet because Rossini worked alongside many of them for over a decade. The independent shows and the comment sections did not go quiet at all. The team will try to wall the story off once games start, the way winning buries everything in this sport. The honest question is the one mattering for the season. Does a distraction this size follow a roster into September? Or does it fade the second the ball is kicked in Seattle? New England spent the entire offseason answering a different question, the football one, and the spending tells you exactly what they believed was broken. The numbers point at one wall, And the next layer shows why. Set the headlines down for a moment and look at what Drake Maye did in year 2. He threw for 4,394 yards, 31 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions. He led the entire NFL in completion percentage at 72, in yards per attempt at 8.9, and in passer rating at 113.5. He added 450 rushing yards and 4 scores with his legs. A second-year quarterback does not post a season like this. Maye did it, and he dragged a roster nobody picked for January into a Super Bowl. The MVP vote stung in Foxborough. Maye finished second to Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford by 5 points, 361 to 366, with 23 first-place votes to 24. It was the closest race since 2003. One flipped ballot hands him the trophy. He produced all of it, throwing to a 32-year-old Stephon Diggs, coming off a torn knee, a 31-year-old Hunter Henry, and a former 6th-round pick in Kayshon Boutte. He produced all of it in his first season under offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, who won Assistant Coach of the Year for the same stretch. Year 1 of that partnership produced an MVP runner-up. Year 3 of it arrives with the protection finally addressed. The Week 17 game tells the whole story in one line. Maye went 19 of 21 for 256 yards and 5 touchdowns against the Jets. The first quarterback in NFL history to clear 90% completions, 250 yards, and 5 scores in one game. 1 of 1. The talent is not the question in New England. The talent finished 1 vote short of the highest individual honor in the sport at 23 years old. The question is whether the players around him held up when it mattered most. And the tape from the playoffs says something nobody in Foxborough wants to admit on camera. Here's the number the highlight reels skip. Drake Maye was sacked 47 times in the regular season. Then the playoffs arrived, and it got worse, not better. He went down at least 5 times in every single postseason game, 6 times in the Super Bowl, 21 sacks across one playoff run. He became the first player in NFL history sacked 5 or more times in 4 straight playoff games. A 14-3 team built an entire season on a quarterback. It left standing in fire. The Super Bowl exposed it for the whole country. The Seattle Seahawks went 29-13, and Maye spent the night running for his life, sacked 6 times, 2 interceptions, 1 returned for a score, a fumble lost. The cracks were there all year. Will Campbell, the 4th overall pick in 2025, started 17 games at left tackle before a knee injury took him out for a month and changed him when he returned. Moses turned 35 on the right side. The interior leaked under pressure. A passer this efficient should not absorb 47 hits a season. He absorbed them anyway, and the front office watched the same film everyone else watched. So read the offseason again with this in your head. Every major move points at one wall: the guard signing, the first-round trade up, the second-round aggression for an edge, the fullback addition for a downhill run game. None of it is random spending. New England decided the roster was close and the protection was the crack in the foundation, and the spring became one long answer to 21 playoff sacks. The pieces they added are the real story of this offseason, and the position-by-position breakdown shows whether the fix is genuine or hope dressed up as a plan. Walk the moves one at a time. Guard Elijah Vera Tucker arrived from the Jets on a 3-year, $42 million deal. He missed all of 2025 with a torn triceps, but healthy he is a starting caliber interior blocker who slots at left guard beside Will Campbell. Receiver Romeo Doubs came from Green Bay on a 4-year deal after 55 catches and 724 yards, a sized number 2 target. Defensive lineman Draymond Jones signed from Baltimore for 3 years and $39.5 million. Safety Kevin Byard joined from Chicago on a 1-year, $9 million deal, 7 interceptions last season, a 6th season under Vrabel. Now the rookies, and here's the player from the open. New England traded up from 31 to 28 to take Utah tackle Caleb Lomu, a 6'6", 313-pound pass protector who allowed 0 sacks last season. He played left tackle in college and barely 30 snaps on the right, yet the Patriots want him as the Morgan Moses heir on the right side. They moved up a second time in round 2 for Illinois edge Gabe Jacas, a relentless run defender built in the vrabel mold. Tight end Eli Raridon landed in round 3 to stretch the seam, 9 picks in total. The line and the edge took the early money. Add it all together and the math reads clean. Maye keeps a healthy Vera Tucker inside, a developing rookie in Lomu behind 2 starters. Daubs stretching the field, Byard and rookie safety Craig Woodson patrolling the back end, and Draymond Jones rotating with Harold Landry and Milton Williams up front. The roster, losing the Super Bowl, got deeper at the exact spots it broke. On paper, the fix looks real. The harder test is the division and the schedule waiting on the other side of it, and one rival did more this offseason than anyone else in the room. Start with the team standing in the way. The Buffalo Bills fired Sean McDermott after another January exit and promoted Joe Brady to head coach. Josh Allen is still there, still an MVP-level force, signed through 2030, coming off 25 passing touchdowns and 14 on the ground. Running back James Cook led the NFL in rushing with 1,621 yards. The Bills did not get worse this spring. They changed the voice at the top and kept their franchise quarterback, and the schedule lines New England up with them twice. The rest of the division went a very different way. The Jets brought back head coach Aaron Glenn for a make-or-break year and traded for quarterback Geno Smith to steady the position. The Dolphins tore the whole thing down to the frame. New head coach Jeff Hafley inherited a roster moving on from Tua Tagovailoa, cutting its stars and handing the offense to Malik Willis. 2 division games against Miami and 2 against the Jets are the softest stretch of New England's road. The hard part is everything else the league handed them on the rest of the slate. The 2026 schedule is the 6th hardest in football, with opponents who posted a combined winning percentage above 530. It opens on the road in Seattle in a Super Bowl rematch, the night the Seahawks raise a banner over the field. It runs through Green Bay, the Chargers in a wild card rematch, the Bills twice, and the Broncos again in Week 17. The team New England beat 10-7 for the conference. Then there is the receiver story still sitting unfinished, the one vrabel has wanted closed since the draft ended, and that single move is the one the entire offseason has been building toward. Here is the move from the trailer, finally with a name on it. The receiver every insider keeps tying to New England is A.J. Brown. The Eagles star has been linked to the Patriots all spring, and the reporting points to a trade after June 1st. The date Philadelphia's dead money on him drops from $43 million to $16 million. The expected price is a future first-round pick. The framework reportedly a 2028 selection. Nothing is signed. Both sides keep it quiet to avoid a tampering charge, but the league treats it as a matter of when, not if. This is the past life part. Mike Vrabel coached A.J. Brown for 3 seasons in Tennessee, from 2019 through 2021. Brown grew up a Patriots fan. He cleared 1,000 yards every year in Philadelphia and still wanted out. The Eagles signed Marquise Brown and Elijah Moore, traded for Dontavion Wicks, drafted Makai Lemon, and moved Devonta Smith into the lead role, every step the mark of a receiver on the way out. New England did not draft a single wideout across 9 picks. Teams do not skip a position that hard unless they expect to fill it another way. Picture the offense, if it lands. Drake Maye, a true number 1 in A.J. Brown. Romeo Doubs as the number 2. Kayshon Boutte stretching the field. Mac Hollins and Demario Douglas working underneath. All of it run by Josh McDaniels. The line got rebuilt. The quarterback is an MVP runner-up. Adding a top 10 receiver on top of that is the gap between a good offense and a frightening one. The trade is the spine of this entire offseason, and the second it becomes official, it changes every prediction, including the one this team was assembled to chase. Back to the question from the start, does one chaotic offseason cost the Patriots the division they fought all season to win back? The answer is no. The The story off the field is loud, but the league is not investigating it. The owner is not moving on from his coach, and the locker room closed ranks in public. Winning silences everything in this sport, and this roster got deeper at the exact spots it broke. A distraction does not show up on the scoreboard the way protection and a healthy quarterback show up. Here's the call. New England drew the 6th hardest schedule in football and still wins the AFC East again. Double-digit wins, a 3rd straight January, and a sweep of the Dolphins and the Jets. Nobody in the division stops. Drake Maye finishes top 5 in MVP, voting a 2nd straight year. Buffalo pushes them, the Bills always do, but a healthier offensive line, a coach of the year on the sideline, and a possible A. Jay Brown in the building tilt the division back to Foxborough. Write that one down and argue it in the comments. The piece still hanging is the trade. The Patriots did everything except say the name out loud, and the calendar says June is when the truth comes out. Drop your Patriots record prediction below, tell me whether A.J. Brown changes it, and subscribe before the next breakdown lands, because the second that deal becomes official, this entire offense gets a new ceiling and a new video on this channel. The tainted offseason has one chapter left, and it has a receiver's name written all over it.